the jealous queen, and the brave prince.
Once upon a time, there was a bad and jealous queen. She had a kind and beautiful daughter. Many princes from different countries wanted to marry the princess. However, the queen said to each prince, "If you want to marry my daughter, you must do something for me." Then she gave each prince an impossible task. Prince Charles, the son of a poor king from a small country, heard about the beautiful princess. He said to his father, "I want to marry her." "Never," cried the king. "The queen will kill you. You are my only son. I cannot lose you. There are hundreds of beautiful women in the world. You don't have to marry this one." But Prince Charles was very sad. He couldn't eat, and he couldn't sleep. In the end, his father sighed and said, "Go then. Go to the princess. I hope you will do better than the other princes. I hope I will see you again." The prince was excited. He danced around his room, ate a lot of food, and regained his strength. Then he began his journey. Because his father was poor, he had no servants. "I will find servants along the way," he thought. After a short while, he saw a small mountain. "What is that mountain?" he wondered. It wasn't there before. As he got closer, he realized it wasn't a mountain. It was a very fat man lying on his back, asleep. The prince approached him, and the fat man woke up. "What are you doing here?" asked the prince. "I was sleeping," said the fat man, "and now I'm not sleeping because of you." "Why were you sleeping?" "Because I ate some food this morning, and now I'm waiting for my lunch." "What did you eat this morning?" asked the prince. 10 chickens and 100 cakes, replied the fat man. "Will you be my servant?" asked the prince. "Give me food," said the fat man, "and I will do anything for you." So the fat man followed the prince. Not long after, they found another man with his head down and one ear pressed to the ground. His left ear was enormous. "What are you doing?" asked the prince. "I'm listening," replied the man. "The flowers are opening. The birds are singing. Even in a country across the sea, I can hear them." "What can you hear in the house of the beautiful princess?" asked the prince. "I hear crying," said the man. "Another prince is dead." "Will you be my servant?" "Yes," said the man, whose name was Big Ear. A little while later, they saw 2 long things by the side of the road. "What are those, trees?" asked Fat Man. They went closer. "They're not trees," said Big Ear. "They're arms, the longest arms in the world." Soon they saw the owner of the arms. "You are a very long person," said the prince. "I can be longer than this," said the man. "Come with me, Long Arms," said the prince. "Be my servant." So Long Arms joined them. Next they met a man, with one hand covering his eye. "Is something wrong with your eye?" asked the prince. "No," said the man. "I can see a very long way. I can see through mountains, water, and buildings, but when something is close, I must cover one eye or I'll see too much." "Come with me, Quick Eyes," said the prince. "Be my servant." Quick Eyes agreed and joined them. As they continued their journey, the sun became very hot. The prince opened his coat, but soon they met a man, wearing 2 thick coats and a large hat. "Why are you wearing so many clothes in this heat?" asked the prince. "I'm cold," replied the man. "How can you be cold? The sun is so hot." "When I open my coat," said the man, "the sun disappears, snow falls, and everything freezes." "Come with me, cold man," said the prince. "Be my servant, but please don't open your coat." Cold Man agreed and joined the group. When Prince Charles and his servants reached the queen's palace, he went to the queen and said, "I want to marry the princess. What do I have to do?" The queen replied, "You must complete 3 tasks. Do them well, and you may marry the princess." "What is the first task?" asked the prince. "I have a beautiful blue jewel," said the queen. "Yesterday it fell into the river. Bring me the jewel before the sun goes down." The prince returned to his servants and told them about the task. "How can we find the jewel?" he asked. Quick Eyes uncovered his eye and looked at the river. "There it is," he said. "I can't reach it," said Long Arms. Then Fat Man opened his mouth and drank all the water in the river. The riverbed was dry, and Long Arms retrieved the jewel. The prince gave it to the queen. The queen was furious but said, "Tomorrow, I'll give him a harder task." The next day, the queen said, "You are hungry. After your journey, I have 30 chickens outside. Eat them all before noon and leave no leftovers." "Can I invite a friend?" asked the prince. "I don't like eating alone." "Fine," said the queen. The prince called Fat Man, who quickly ate the 30 chickens, along with all the queen's other animals, the bread in the kitchens, and the fruit and vegetables in the garden. At noon, the queen was furious again. On the 3rd day, the queen smiled sweetly and invited the prince to spend the evening with the princess. However, she secretly drugged his drink, hoping he would fall asleep. When he did, the princess disappeared. But with the help of his loyal servants, the prince found the princess and returned her safely. The queen was defeated. She fled the country. Prince Charles married the princess. They lived happily ever, after with the faithful servants by their side. Thanks for listening.